Maya, don't sign it! He works for the mafia, he's dangerous!
The glass doors of the Grand Meridian Ballroom burst open, and the groom shoved past the flower girl. His boutonniere ripped half off his lapel, his face pale under the chandelier light, and every head in the wedding hall snapped toward him as he sprinted down the white runner. Not toward the altar, but straight for the exit where two men in black suits waited with their hands inside their jackets. Maya stood at the altar in a gown that cost more than her first car, veil trembling, bouquet of calla lilies clenched so tight that the stems bled green onto her satin gloves, and she watched her husband-to-be, Caleb, disappear through those doors without a word, without a look back, leaving her standing in front of 300 guests and a Korean man in a charcoal tuxedo who had not been on the seating chart. The string quartet choked mid-note. Someone dropped a champagne flute and it shattered like a gunshot across the marble. Maya's mother made a sound that was not a word, a wound of a sound, and her father stood up so fast his chair tipped backward and hit the floor. The Korean man stepped forward then, calm, unhurried, his cufflinks catching the light, and he bowed his head to Maya exactly 1 degree, not more, not less, and said, "Your husband made a choice. He chose to breathe. You should sit down before you fall." She did not sit, her knees locked, her ears were ringing. "Where did he go?" she said, and her voice came out steady in a way that scared her because she felt nothing steady inside. The man who had been introduced to her only an hour earlier as Mr. Park, a business associate of the groom's father, looked at the doors Caleb had vanished through and then back at her. He owed a debt. Today it was called in. He paid with the wedding. He could have paid with you. A murmur rolled through the hall, a wave of whispers and gasps. Aunt Diane was already on her feet, phone out, recording, because Aunt Diane recorded everything, and Maya saw the red dot and thought, this is going to be everywhere in 10 minutes. The pastor cleared his throat, Bible shaking in his hands. "Miss Maya, maybe we should." "Don't," Mr. Park said, and the pastor closed his mouth. "She will decide what we do next." He turned to Maya again, and for the first time his expression shifted, just a flicker around the eyes. "You knew he was in trouble." "I knew he was stressed," Maya said. "I knew his father's company was bleeding money. I didn't know he was borrowing from men who bring guns to weddings." "Not guns," Mr. Park said softly. "Leverage. Your husband leveraged you. He told my uncle you were the reason he would be worth investing in. A beautiful, brilliant black woman with a law degree and a spine of steel. He said you would make him legitimate. My uncle decided to see for himself." He gestured to the rows of guests. "He sees. He is not impressed with the running." Maya set the bouquet down on the altar. The lilies toppled. "If you're here to collect, I'm not a collateral." "No," Mr. Park agreed. "You are not. That is why I am still talking." He nodded to one of the men by the door and the man stepped outside. A second later Caleb was dragged back in, not by his collar but by the kind of fear that makes a man's legs move without pride. His tie was gone. There was a thin cut on his cheekbone. He wouldn't look at Maya. "Talk," Mr. Park told him. Caleb swallowed. "Maya, Look at her," Mr. Park said, and it wasn't loud, but Caleb flinched like it was. Caleb lifted his eyes. They were wet. "I messed up. I took money to keep my dad's company afloat. I thought I could flip it, pay it back before the wedding. I couldn't. They said if I didn't come today, they'd take it out on you. I thought if I left, they'd follow me, not you. I was trying to protect you." "By humiliating me in front of everyone I love," Maya said. The steadiness was cracking now, heat rising up her throat. "By making me the woman who got left at the altar on the internet for the rest of my life." "I didn't know what else to do," Caleb said, and he was crying now, ugly, gasping. "I'm sorry. God, Maya, I'm so sorry." Mr. Park watched him cry with no expression, then turned to Maya. "He is sorry. That does not pay interest." He pulled a folded piece of paper from his inner jacket pocket and held it out to her. "This is the number. This is what he owes. My uncle is not unreasonable. He prefers solutions over bodies." Maya didn't take the paper. "Why are you giving that to me?" "Because you are the only person in this room he did not expect to run," Mr. Park said. "And because my uncle likes you. He watched you during the rehearsal dinner. You corrected the contract his lawyers drafted. You found the clause that would have let Caleb's father steal from him. You did it without raising your voice. My uncle respects that. Maya's breath caught. She had spent 20 minutes at the rehearsal dinner with a red pen and a glass of water, thinking she was saving her future father-in-law from a typo. She had not known she was being tested. Take the paper, Mr. Park said. Or don't, but if you don't, he goes with us, and the debt becomes your family. A chair scraped. Maya's father was at her side now, his hand hovering near her back but not touching, because he knew better than to touch her when she was like this. We'll pay it, he said, voice gravel. Whatever it is, we'll pay it. You can't, Maya said, still looking at Mr. Park. You retired last year. Mom's chemo bills. Don't you worry about that, her dad said. I am worried about that, she snapped, and her voice broke finally, loud in the hall. I'm worried about everything. I planned this wedding for 18 months. I picked every flower. I wrote my vows, and he left me. She sucked in air, furious that tears were coming now, furious that 300 people were watching them fall. You want me to take that paper? Fine. She snatched it. The number made her stomach drop. 7 figures. You think I have this? No, Mr. Park said. I think you have something better. You have a brain, and you have me. That sent a new ripple through the crowd. Aunt Diane's phone was still up. Maya could already see the TikTok caption. He abandoned his black wife at the wedding hall for the Korean mafia boss. You want me to work for you, Maya said, flat. I want you to work with me, Mr. Park said. 6 months. You fixed the leaks in my uncle's shipping company, the same way you fixed that contract. You do that, the debt is gone. Your husband walks, your family walks, you walk. And if I say no? Then I do my job, he said, and there was no threat in it, just fact. And you will spend the rest of your life wondering if you could have stopped it. Caleb made a noise, a broken thing. Don't, Maya, don't do it for me. I don't deserve. Shut up, she said, not looking at him. She looked at Mr. Park. I want it in writing. I want my own lawyer. I want my parents off limits. And I want him, she jerked her chin at Caleb, out of my sight until I say otherwise. Mr. Park's mouth twitched, almost a smile. Done. He pulled a pen from his pocket, a slim silver thing, and held it out. Sign the back of the paper. That will hold until the formal contract. Her hand shook, but she took the pen. The ink was black. Her signature was clean. Good, Mr. Park said. He nodded to the men by the door. They stepped away from Caleb, who crumpled to his knees like his strings were cut. The wedding is over, Mr. Park announced to the room. Go home. If a video of this appears online, my uncle will be disappointed. You do not want him disappointed. Phones lowered all over the hall. Aunt Diane looked like she'd been slapped. Maya turned to her parents. Her mom's face was wet, her dad's jaw was iron. I'm sorry, Maya whispered. Don't you dare, her dad said. You did nothing wrong, we're proud of you. He looked at Caleb on the floor. Him, I'm gonna kill later. Council of Dads later, Maya said, and a hysterical laugh bubbled out before she could stop it. Right now, I need to change. Mr. Park inclined his head. There is a car outside. Your dress will not work for where we're going. Where are we going? To work, he said. Your wedding gift is a job, Ms. Johnson. Congratulations. The next 6 months moved like a blade. Maya learned that Mr. Park's first name was June. She learned that his uncle's shipping company was a maze of bad ledgers and worse loyalties. She learned to read Korean at 3 a.m. with a pot of coffee and a legal pad, and she learned that June drank his coffee black and never slept more than 4 hours. She learned that the men who had stood by the door had names, families, and one of them, a quiet guy named Min, always saved her a seat at the staff dinner. She did not see Caleb. He called. She didn't answer. He texted. She deleted. Her lawyer sent him divorce papers. He signed them. No fight. That hurt worse than if he'd fought. Escalation was slow, then fast. First, it was spreadsheets. Then it was midnight meetings with dock workers who called her Madam Lawyer and stopped stealing when she looked them in the eye. Then it was a raid on a warehouse that was supposed to be empty but wasn't, and June shoved her behind a crate and took a bullet to the shoulder for his trouble. She pressed her silk scarf to the wound and screamed at him in English and Korean and every curse she knew, and he laughed through his teeth and said, You're learning. She saved the company $3 million in the first month, 5 the second. By month 4, the debt was gone, but she didn't leave. She told herself it was because the contract had 6 months. She told herself it wasn't because June looked at her like she was the only honest thing in his world. "You can go," he said one night, after they closed a deal that put his uncle's biggest rival out of business. They were on the roof of the office, city lights spread out like a spilled jewelry box. "The debt is cleared. You did more than we asked." "I know," Maya said. Her hair was out of its usual bun, wind tearing at it. She'd lost weight, gained scars, one on her palm from a broken glass during the warehouse raid. "I'm not done." "Why?" He wasn't looking at her. He was looking at the city. "Because you were right," she said. "He left, you stayed, you bled for me. I don't know what that means yet, but I'm not leaving until I do." June turned then, slow. "Maya." "Don't," she said. "If you're gonna say it's a bad idea, I know. If you're gonna say I deserve better than this life, I know that too. But I get to choose. I didn't get to choose the altar. I choose this." He stepped closer. "My uncle will not like it." "Your uncle likes me," she said, and she was smiling. God help her, she was smiling. "He told me I'm the daughter he never had. Creepy, but I'll take it." June exhaled, a sound that was almost a laugh. "You are dangerous, Maya Johnson." "Marry me again," she said, and the words were out before she could call them back. "Not for debt, not for business, just—" "Don't ask me that," he said, quiet. "Not yet. My world is not kind to wives." "Then make it kind," she said, "or I will." The wedding, when it happened, was not in a ballroom. It was on that same roof, 6 months and 1 day after the first. No guests except Min and her parents. No string quartet, just a Bluetooth speaker and her mom's old gospel playlist. She wore a red dress. June wore the same charcoal tuxedo. Her dad walked her across the roof, and when he put her hand in June's, he said, "Hurt her and I don't care who your uncle is." "I won't," June said. "She'd kill me first." They wrote their own vows. Hers: "I promise to run toward you, not away. I promise to read the fine print. I promise to choose you every time." His: "I promise to stand between you and the door. I promise to learn every part of you. I promise to be worth the choice." Caleb watched from the street. He'd come to return her grandmother's ring. He left it with Min and walked away before the first kiss. Maya saw him go. She felt nothing but a distant, clean ache, like a healed bone. The video Aunt Diane posted never got taken down. It had 40 million views. The comment section was a war zone. She upgraded. He fumbled. "This is a movie asterisk." Maya read none of it. She was busy. If this story hit you, if you felt that moment when she picked up the pen, do Maya a favor. Hit subscribe because her story isn't over. Smash like if you think a woman should never be collateral. Comment below. Would you have signed the paper? Tell me what you'd do if you were standing at that altar. I read every single one, and the next story might be yours. And if you're new here, welcome to the channel. We tell stories about women who don't run. We tell them loud. We tell them to the end. See you in the next one. End.